Welcome into New York Giants Now by Chat Sports. I am your host, Marshall Green. Appreciate everybody for rolling in. We're just going to be answering questions from all of the real ones on today's show. Getting back to the roots of this channel. Doing a mailbag. Haven't done it in a while. And you know what? I love chopping it up with you guys. My guy Kyle coming in with a $5 super chat. Major shout out to you. Why is the league still sleeping on us? The G-men got so much better in my eyes. Kyle, I'm going to answer that question coming up in a second. But if you're like Kyle and you think the league is sleeping on us and the New York Giants are going to make the playoffs, or if you want the Giants to make the playoffs, go down right now, hit that thumbs up icon. Kyle, to answer your question quickly is, why is the league still sleeping on us? Because nobody pays attention to the New York Giants. And they think we're the same New York Giants that went 3-14 last year. And the same New York Giants that have won 9 games in the last 2 years. But I 100% agree with you, man. And obviously, I drink Giants Kool-Aid. I drink blue and I drink red Giants Kool-Aid. But, man, this team got way better. Way better. And when you think about it of who left and who's here, let's start with this. The New York Giants lost one starter last year. One starter that anyone actually cares about, and that's Jason Pinnock on the defensive side of the ball. That's it. I guess you could say you lost your starting quarterback, but the Giants never had a player that was capable of actually being labeled a starting quarterback. So you lose Jason Pinnock, right? A player that signed a veteran minimum contract to go play with the San Francisco 49ers. What does that tell you? He really wasn't that good. And I like Jason Pinnock. He's a good replacement level player. But you went out and you signed the best safety in all of NFL free agency in Javon Holland. So the one starter you lost, you brought back in Javon Holland, who was the best in the class in free agency. You didn't lose any starting corners. You added the best corner in free agency in Paulson Adebo. Where were the Giants weak last year? On the offensive line and on the defensive line. And you went out and you made some moves to improve that. You went out and you signed Chauncey Golston, a player that I'm really excited about. You went out and you drafted Abdul Carter, arguably the best player in this draft class. So you take a defense that through the first 7 weeks of the season led the NFL in sacks with 35, the most since the Jacksonville Jaguars, who got to the AFC title game, and you add Abdul Carter, you add Chauncey Golston, and you add Darius Alexander. On the offensive side of the ball, the injuries are what derailed you. Hopefully you get 17 games out of Andrew Thomas. You brought back Greg Van Roten. You brought back Aaron Stinney. You move Evan Neal from right tackle to right guard. So you have starters now at some of your backup spots, and you go out and you draft Marcus Bowe as well, who I believe sooner rather than later is going to be making an impact on this team. And oh yeah, you replaced Daniel Jones, Drew Lock, Tommy DeVito, and Tim effing Boyle. Who the hell is Tim Boyle with a future Hall of Famer? A Super Bowl champion, a 10-time Pro Bowler. Is Russ still that guy? I don't know. But he's much better than anything you've had since number 10 played for this organization. So where you lost a starter, you added the best in free agency. Your weakest spot on defense was corner. You added the best in free agency. You took a pass rush that was once the best in the NFL, and you elevated that. You added depth to the offensive line, and now you got a way better quarterback. I think the G-men are so much better as well, Kyle, and I think a lot of people are sleeping on us as well. 5.5 wins as the betting total for the Giants. You guys can answer. Type O for over, type U for under. 5.5 wins for the Giants this year. My man, Dr. Pancake, thank you for the super chat, my man, longtime viewer. We appreciate you. Are we a wide receiver 2 away from a solid roster? I don't know if I'm going to say we're just a wide receiver 2 away. I do think the wide receiver room needs some more juice. Like, I hate doing this, and knock on wood, you're a Malik Neighbors injury away from being in playmaker hell. Like, you're a Malik Neighbors injury away from Darius Slayton, Jalen Hyatt, and Wan'Dale Robinson being your trio of wide receivers. And Neighbors hasn't practiced at OTAs. Dable was taking it slow with him and playing it smart because of a toe injury that's bothered him since his days in the SEC. So I'm not going to freak out on that because if I do, I'm going to ruin my mood 24/7. I think there's some other holes on this team. I think you still got to improve the offensive line a little bit. I think you need some more playmakers on offense. But last year, PFF and ESPN ranked the New York Giants roster as the 32nd best and the 31st best. If they're not anywhere from 18 to 25, I don't understand what else we're looking at. I think the Giants seriously improved, and I think they're good enough to be able to compete in any game that they play this Sunday. Grimmy B, $5 super chat. Shout out to you, my man. Theo Johnson takes a step up this year. I think he's going for 500 yards and at least a handful of TDs. Look, that's what you need, man. You need some of these day 3 picks from Joe Shane to start hitting. He was a 4th-round pick in the 2024 NFL Draft. He had that nice touchdown reception from Daniel Jones up the right seam. He's more than athletic enough. He's like 6'6", 260 pounds, and the Giants are kind of just relying on him to be the starter. Yeah, you got Chris Manners as a blocking tight end. Daniel Bellinger doesn't seem to be in great favor of this organization, and any time that Joe Shane or Brian Dable talk about this team, they're going to let you know they think that Theo Johnson could be due for a breakout year, and they trusted him. Yeah, I'd like for him to be good. Giants need more offensive playmakers, and if you can get Theo Johnson to be a good one as a second-year tight end, that'd be pretty damn cool. Big Trez, $5 super chat. What up, my man? Who will have the most sacks, and in what order? Dexter Lawrence, Brian Burns, Kayvon Thibodeau, Abdul Carter. Do you believe Dart, Carter, Scat keep their numbers, like 12 for Dart? Well, Jackson Dart's wearing number 6. Jackson Dart is wearing number 6. Scatterbo is wearing 44, and Abdul Carter is 51. I think they all could keep those numbers. Jackson Dart tried to buy number 2 from Deontay Banks. He said the price was too high. So, yeah, I think they'll keep those numbers. I don't have any information that they want to change those numbers. When it comes to who leads this team in sacks, I'm going to say Brian Burns. What do you have, 8 last year? I'll go Burns, Carter, Lawrence, Thibodeau. That's my early prediction at this moment. Burns, Carter, Lawrence, Thibodeau. How about those 4 combined for 40 sacks? That'd be pretty cool. Destin, what up, my man? $10 super chat. Thank you. Do the Giants have the same turnaround the Commanders have from 2023 to 2024? I'll give you a better team. How about the Denver Broncos from 2023 to 2024? Denver Broncos were horrible in 2023. They did get a rookie quarterback, and that rookie quarterback played from Jump Street, but that defense became one of the best defenses in the National Football League. And they had a offensive coach dealing with a young quarterback that helped him develop. It'll just be Russell Wilson at the start of the year. The Broncos made the playoffs last year. And yes, they lost in round 1. I don't necessarily think the Giants are going to make an NFC title run like the Washington Commanders. But can the Giants, like the Denver Broncos, go from worst in the division to potentially winning a wild card spot? I think so. And that's the type of turnaround I'm looking for. They picked 12th when they drafted Bo Nix. I know we picked 3rd, but can we go from being a bad team to a team that can compete for a wild card spot? That's what I would look at it. And the Broncos were carried by their defense. The Giants, they need to be carried by their defense. Sooner rather than later, though, we're going to be seeing darts thrown on NFL Sundays. And you get your Jackson Dart jersey today by going to chatsports.com/dart. That's chatsports.com/dart. He's wearing number 6. Get your jersey today. That link will be clickable down in the comments and the description. JDJ, my man, what's up, Brody? Considering we have so much talent on D, how badly do we have to play defensively for the Giants to let go of Bowen in season? I hope this isn't something that even comes close to happening. Man, I think it'd really have to fall off the rails for Shane Bowen to be fired in season. The Giants don't usually fire coordinators in season. I think the last time they did it was Jason Garrett. And before that, I can't even tell you when the last time that they did it. And I could just see the Giants waiting until the end of the season if this season falls off the rails to do a complete sweep of the coaching staff. I'll just answer with this. There's no excuse for this Giants defense to be bad. There's none. There's honestly no excuse for this Giants defense to not be a top 10 unit. At every position, you have made a significant investment. Defensive tackle, paying Dexter Lawrence $100 million, and you drafted Darius Alexander with a premium pick, number 65 overall. Off the edge, Number 5, picking Kayvon Thibodeau. Number 3, picking Abdul Carter. $150 million in Brian Burns. At inside linebacker, you're paying Bobby Okereke premium money. At corner, you selected Deonte Banks in round 1, and you're giving Paulson Adebo $18 million a year. You also drafted Cordell Flott in the 3rd round, and you drafted Newman safety, the slot corner from Kentucky, Andrew Phillips. Thank you in the 3rd round. At safety, you're paying Javon Holland a lot of money, and you drafted Tyler Newman in round 2. So every single position on the defense, you've used either premium draft capital or premium free agency dollars. No excuse not to be good. I think this Giants defense could be top 5, but they better be top 10, or Shane Bowen will no longer be the defensive coordinator of this team. ETC! What up, my man? Giants. Do we think the Giants address the kicker position, or do we just have to suffer every time Gano takes the field? So they have Jude McAdamy. He was on the practice squad last year. And we'll see what goes in that department. But I would like for there to be a kicker competition. I absolutely would. Graham Gano has been unreliable in making kicks and unreliable in playing football games. He's missed too many games over the last 2 years, and he's missed too many kicks. The one position you can't be unreliable at is kicker, and the Giants have that. I would like to see them address the kicker position. I don't know if it's going to happen. Maybe there's a kicking competition in training camp or preseason or something along those lines, but I don't know what they're going to do in that sense. Major shout out to y'all. If you haven't yet, or if I didn't get to your question today, I am more than willing to talk about it over on Twitter and more than willing to talk about it over on Instagram. Give me a follow over there at @MarshallGreen_. We appreciate you, and let's go Big Blue.